the bigger thing that I want to see from you guys is don't use the elbow at the end and stop. All right, what do I mean by that? This happens a lot when we start using this in advance because we just get introduced to elbows, but all of a sudden we work our way in and we're like, boom, and we're done, we stop, no good, right? And I say the way they do it is like, hi, my name is John, and then you get out. It's just another word in the sentence as you work through, boom, boom, boom. So as you're working your elbows in today for your shadow boxing, ask yourself, are you just like making this the hard move? Or are you actually thinking about how it might set you up for something else as we go through? All right? If you remember the combinations for the last 2 days, which some of you forgot them already or you haven't written them down, which is fine. I don't take that personally. Ask yourself, okay, what sets this up? I'll hit a low kick. Boom, I'm back. Cool, I can drive, push, kick. Allow your elbow to be just as transitory as everything else, right? Let it transition into punches, let it transition into kicks, let it transition into knees, and then let it go right back to an elbow when you're done, all right? But don't treat it special. Put it in the mix with everything else. Good? I'll be around to make fun of you. Let's work a quick skill in here just to warm up. I want to do something silly at the end of the class, but for the time being, this push and pull. One, where the morning class was having a little bit of trouble, they're very stiff, right? In the same way that I joke around and I say knee and elbow, I'm saying that the mechanics are still the same, right? When I knee and I use my frames to set up the knee, I'm not Frankensteining my arms and trying to work my way in. I'm making sure my frames come through, boom, and work themselves in. When it comes to this push and pull mechanic, I've talked through it like day in, day out for the last things. As I'm gonna set this up, my goal for this first part is just hands. Don't worry about your legs. I'm gonna work with Tony, I'm gonna push in. I'm waiting for Tony to defend. I'm working how he goes, cool, right? All of a sudden, I saw where Tony's hand went when I blocked the hook. Beautiful, I throw that hook. I push and I pull, right? I'm relatively close to my hands. And then realistically, I would just be here, right? Tony's like, ah, right? But for the sake of my partner, staying my partner, boom, I'm gonna let him put his hand right back in there. Now my other job is then to get to the other side, get this elbow set up. The hand that is pulling is the hand that's throwing the elbow. The hand that is pushing has to stay secure. Here's the other thing though, don't do this. When I push in and I give Tony my knuckles, oh dog, right? It's like, yeah, he gets the counter immediately. I have to use the palms of my gloves as I work in, boom, I'm working through, right? I want to push and pull to set up this arm, so maybe I'm trying to get this hand to come out. Whoa, right? Okay, that's fine. I missed the hand, it's not in my way, but I will let him put it up as I go for the elbow, right? Tony's turn, he's allowed to use his hands to put my hands exactly where he needs them to be. He's watching how I defend, so that way when he does set up, oh, there's the push and the pull. That was actually really smooth. Shit. And there's the elbow. Boom. Right? I'm working through, right? I'm still providing some resistance, but I'm mainly being defensive as he's throwing his hands. Bing. Boop. Oh. Some will get through and that's fine. But then Tony's job is to find when the hand can get out so he can push and pull, right? Whoop. Oh, whip. And then set up that elbow. Boom. We're going to use this framework a few times, so let's just practice this as we go through. So once again, you're being on the offensive and you are using the elbow. It's not you're being defensive and you get the opportunity. Not today. You are the winner, so you are going to put the pressure. Boom, boom. As I work in, maybe all of a sudden, whoop, 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 wrong grip. That's fine. Boop, still works. But my goal is to push and pull. Push one hand, pull the other. Take that second step in for the elbow. I am giving myself a little bit of a clinch in this position, right? My goal is to pull and land a middle kick, and then from there, we'll repeat the steps, right? And hopefully what I'm looking for is a check, right? So realistically, let's just go with a jab and a wedge, right? So Tony jabs in, he wedges through. I'm trying to pass and get through underneath. I'm pulling and stepping. Yeah, we're already here. Boom, I'm finding the kick, finding the knee, right? So once again, I'll do that again. Jab, boom, he wedges through. I can pass, but I'm trying to get through, get underneath, get this step, so boop, this kick's here, right? I want Tony to check, right? Because all of a sudden he tries it again, right? Boom, he wedges through, I pass, I drop, boom. I lift, up, underneath, whoop. No.
Yeah, one time, that's it.
All right, figure it out for yourselves. Welcome to the Muay Thai edition of Chopped. I show you the dish and you have to recreate it the best you can.
Yes.
Yes, right? I'll do it off. Say they like the lead wedge, same thing, just to like hop in with the wedge. They come through, up, pass, I'm through, boom, right, kick, boom.
I don't want that.
I don't want that. In fact, I want you to break your foot when you do that, right? So he wedges, boom, I pass, I duck. From here, I kick, I lift, I step. Now here's the beautiful thing about this, right? I'm already in position. Now I gotta work quickly, obviously. Totally get everything. Like, I'd be like, hey dude, how you doing?
What's up, player?
Yeah, dude, if somebody just like talked to me, I'd be like, dude, please don't do it. Please. My children are watching. Now, I pull. Now watch my legs. Pull. I'm using my knee to get Tony out of the way. Yep. It's a lot of man. All right. I stay tight, because here's the other reason. If I jab, or if he wedges, I get all the way out here, boom, there's Mr. Spinning Elbow. As he spins in, whoa, you're gonna get hit, it's okay. I'm staying tight. I'm here, because even if he spins around, like, as long as I stay like right in mid Tony's back, he's like, spin around. You know, I gotta make sure I'm staying tight. When I'm loose is the problem here.
So is it like a side clinch?
Side clinch to rotate into a kick. Right, so once again, wedge. I'll pass it if I can. Pop, pull, kick. Whoop! Oh, okay, I see that he checks. Beautiful, I want it. Right, he wedges in. Yep, up, pull. I kick up, underneath. Notice how my hand stayed on Tony the whole time? Right, nobody should be dropped today. Right, same thing on this one, jab and wedge. So he told jab. As he wedges, I get off the center line. The hand comes up underneath. Pull, I'm stepping as I go. If I want space, pull, boom, boom. Everybody's looking at me like I'm magic. I'm not crazy, I swear. Correct, so that's, we'll show the last one here. I had to regain my microphone. So Tony jabs, he wedges in, right? Pass through, good. Boom, as I kick or lift, I step. Yep, and once again, look at my position. My leg is underneath my arm. This leg is light. So all of a sudden, I lift and I scoop. Yep. Oh. I teach you guys in a vacuum. Like, that's the bigger thing to remember. Like, here is a certain set of variables. I have an opponent, or I have a pad holder that's being compliant, and all of a sudden we get into practice. And they're like, well, the leg never lifts the way that I want it to. Does it? Or have you just not given them a reason to? Right? So that's why it's really big. One, as you're working in these rounds, if you want to land this, you don't have to be fast. You just have to have good timing. And you have to pay attention to what your partner does. Right? So say I use the shuffle 9. Even if I'm like watching and Tony checks it, boom, cool. Right? That's fine. But I know that Tony checks and his leg is the right, boom, shape for me to do this. If Tony's staying tight and really close in, it's really hard for me to do this. But if they're going out wide and lifting that leg up, beautiful. Right? So I'll move on from that. Bit, until I make it blatantly obvious that's what I want. And you just tip them out. Yo. But that's the whole thing about this. It's about setups. So as you're working your flow rounds in here, don't worry about damage, right? We're all damaged individuals. That's why we're here, right? So that's why worry about the timing. Worry about the openings. Worry about the space, right? And all of a sudden, maybe you get this off. Maybe I do just come off. Boom, and I'm waiting for Tony to check that kick because he knows, oh, he's angling off. He's gonna kick, oh, down. Whoa, oh, Tony's so big. He's so strong, right? I have to lift tall. I have to get all of Tony's leg, like the weight can't be heavy because then this leg doesn't go. So that's why it's important to lift and bump, all right? Play around with it, but as with all things, if you can't bring your partner down safely, take a second. If you don't think that your partner knows how to fall safely, take a second, right? But everything else, right? Hands, boom, teeps, boom, knees, boom, open. Elbows, however, there's one thing I like, and that's when you can do air elbows, where all of a sudden, like, my hand's down, and Tony just like doesn't have to get close. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that's my fault, and that's the same speed. Well, slow. I don't need to get to Tony to show that he was open, right? So, if you don't trust yourself with elbows, don't throw them. If you don't trust your partner to understand that the elbow's coming in, don't throw them. But if you and your partner be like, hey man, do you want to just, okay, right? Play around, whoop, boom. As long as it's a safe speed, I'm not too worried about it. But then you guys have to be on the same wavelength, right? 4-minute cool down round, and then we'll talk about it. Good.